You know, it's funny, during the SEC spring meetings, Bobby Petrino was criticized for kind of speaking out of both sides of his mouth by Adam Rittenberg of ESPN. Very great guy. When I was in radio, he came on my show several times. Highly respected him as a journalist. He basically said, look, when Ohio State decided that they were going to play their players in the Sugar Bowl, when that came down, Bobby Petrino came out and said, look, we want to play their best players.
Yep.
That was an issue that a coach is always going to say that. You're never going to back down from a fight if you're in college athletics. You're just not going to do it.
No.
The will to win is too strong. So you're never going to see teams forfeit on some sort of like moral high ground. It's never going to happen. Because I think the win of all wins would be beating a team that cheated anyways. Like that. So I think that's kind of what Bobby Petrino was thinking about.
Yeah.
But in a completely different situation, does he think they should have been eligible to begin with? Absolutely not.
Sure.
And I think that he got unfairly criticized for saying what everybody already collectively agreed. The NCAA decision to play those Ohio State players made absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm behind Bobby Petrino 100% in saying, yeah, we want to play their best players, because that's what a coach is supposed to say. That's what you want your head coach to say.
Sure.
But at the same time, him saying they shouldn't have been eligible is not grounds for him to be criticized by the national media or really anybody, because everybody agrees that they shouldn't have played. You're not going to start seeing programs back away just because teams cheat. It's not going to change it. There's a term called escalation that we've all heard of, that if you make a rule, people are going to find a way around it. People are going to find a loophole. They're going to find a way to break it. You were asking before the break, how do you solve this problem? I don't really know if you can completely solve it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's something you can completely solve, but I do think that there is an element in which you can make it a lot more difficult for programs to cheat.
Sure.
If you make it so impossible, if you make it so difficult for a program to justify cheating, if you erase the statute of limitations, if you say, if you cheat and you are found guilty of any of these offenses, your program will be suspended from play for a year.
Yeah. You got to go. I mean, it's like the death penalty of SMU back in the 80s. And, and that whole thing. I think there just has to be consistency from the NCAA. There has to be, which is exactly what you're saying, which is if you do this, this, or this, this is going to happen to you. You know, if you get caught, there's no question. It doesn't matter if it's Ohio State or it doesn't matter if it's Appalachian State.
It seems like there's too much gray area right now.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. That is exactly the way to put it. So, well, now that we've solved that, we're going to step away here on Sportsline. We come back, talk a little Major League Baseball. There's a guy out in St. Louis, where's number 5, seems to be heating up pretty good. The Chicago Cubs know that all too well after this weekend series. That's coming up next on Sportsline here on My 5.2.